Negligent police officers led to my arrest and subsequent jail stay for 2 years on a crime I did not commit. I was arrested for a crime I did not commit. It was Easter weekend in 2019. I was at a Walmart with my wife, mother-in-law, brother-in-law and his wife. I had to use the restroom, so I proceeded to go to the restroom. I went pee in a urinal and realized I needed to poop. I finished my business in the stall and left the restroom only to be stopped by a woman asking if I was just in the restroom. I told her yes, assuming I dropped something out of my pockets. She said that her 5-year-old told her that I touched his butt while he was in the restroom. I never saw this kid and no one was in the restroom when I came in, and I couldn't tell you who was in while I was in the stall. I told her that her son must be mistaken and we should go to customer service and contact Walmart security and the police to try to find the person who did touch her son. I assumed that I was going to be a potential witness in this case and cooperated fully with security and the police. I was questioned by the police and I told them this same thing. They talked with the mother and father and then called their supervisor to the scene. I talked with the police supervisor and gave my contact information for the investigator. I was contacted several days later by a sheriff that served me with a no-contact order against the family of this little boy. I was then contacted by the detective and asked to come into the station and answer some questions. Again, I assumed I was a potential witness and voluntarily went in to answer questions. I was fully interrogated by 3 different detectives about being a child lover and was there for over an hour. I was again able to leave without being arrested and assumed this was all over and they would look into other potential suspects. Nope. 2 weeks later I am arrested at my job, accused of touching a child under the age of 14 years. I spent 2 years awaiting trial because I did not do what I was accused of. At the exact 2-year mark, I was out on trial against a jury of 11 women and 1 man. 3 days into trial, they deliberated for a mere 3 hours to find me not guilty. I was set free and the charges dropped. However, the damage was already done. I lost out on 2 years of my life, facing 14 years prison time, having to be housed in with men who did do what they were accused of, being assaulted 2 different times because the jail put general population inmate in protective custody with us, 2 years of lost potential income, being blasted on the news describing what I allegedly did even though it wasn't true, defamation of character, suffering from severe PTSD and depression and anxiety, loss of time with my family, my children and my wife, all because the detective and others officers and investigators involved failed to do even the slightest part of their job correctly. They all assumed that the mother of the child was telling the truth and that a 5-year-old, traumatized child couldn't make a mistake or was potentially telling a lie. They failed to investigate the other 3 men that were seen on camera entering the restroom while the child was in there, and 2 of the men were Walmart employees who could have been questioned immediately. Or to even get the full spectrum of video footage that entailed when the child left his mother to go to the restroom and when he came back to his mother and to question why she slapped her son when he told her what happened in the restroom. Then there was the forensic child interviewer who failed to get a good description of the child's attacker. All of this negligence has had a major impact on mine and my family's life. I have filed 2 separate lawsuits. One is against the police department who failed to do a proper investigation, and the other is against the sheriff's department who controls the jail and their negligence to house general population inmates with protective custody inmates. These lawsuits are based on civil rights violations, so I filed 42 U.S.C. 1983. Do I have legal rights to sue?